What is up, folks? I hope you're having a great time out there. Welcome to another review video of the Dwarves, the PlayStation 4 version. So first I'm going to talk about the background. The Dwarves is an upcoming fantasy tactical role-playing video game. It features music composed by Benny Ostman, which is totally not important to tell here. The publishers are THQ Nordic and developers are King Art. Game is based on the novel The Dwarves by Marcus Heitz, a German legendary novelist, and the game is available on PC, PS4, Xbox One in a range between $29 to $39. And then, the first things first, the graphics. Well, to be honest, a game like this needs no extraordinary graphics, and the Dwarves features no extra polished graphics. When it comes to the final version of the game on PlayStation 4, don't trust me. You better be watching background video to confirm the Dwarves is a fantasy role-playing game, an RPG. A dedicated RPG, I'd say. You can take a look on the gameplay and guess that there is slightly difference between the Dwarves and Dota 2, but both are same. No pun intended. The Dwarves features satisfactory graphics. To me, they're not meh. They totally do the job for the type of game they've packed up with. So, I don't know. You better judge it. Well, as I always say, don't judge a game by its graphics. So it doesn't mean that a game like the Dwarves or even the Dwarves is a bad game just because of poor graphics. In that case, Tony Hawk 5 and King of Fighters were also, having a little low scheme on graphics, but they were great games. So I have a few more things to tell you. So keep listening with the review. Coming to the third tab, sound, music, and voice. Well, sound is bit good. Game is completely voice narrated, so the communication with other dwarves or humans is pretty well synchronized. Giving the best shot to the game, King Art developers made a continuous music throughout the game, except the narration part or the cutscenes, which kind of felt odd at first, but later on I started enjoying the music. The narrated part is awesome. A lady with no face continuously tells you with her soothing voice about situations, conditions, and anything new that pops up within the game, which is a good thing because developers chose a girl's voice over an old man because that is too mainstream and always old men are narrating stuff in video games. This is boring. Coming to the gameplay and plot, which is the main deal, the Dwarves features narration-based gameplay. Like you have to talk to persons inside the game, you will have communicating options to deal with situations. What makes the gameplay of Dwarves weird and easy is you don't have to attack the next person or goblin or anyone. Just approach the enemy and your selected character starts hitting the enemy. Gameplay is totally based. Like in start, you will be alone in a war and your allies will be fighting with a bunch of green-blooded creatures called goblins, not the ones from Spider-Man, and you will jump into war at that time. You will have to approach enemies and hitting start automatically, which first seems weird and later on you will love it for sure, and after some time in the game and even in the start you will have two characters to control. You will control one at a time and second one will fight automatically. Each character has different abilities, like one of them is jumping from one side to another with striking ground causing hits to the enemies. Likewise, there's another more interesting weapons and again story driven like most of the game. Most interesting one of them is a cannon. Traveling inside the game is easy. I mean, it's like so much easy. You have a map and you have a lot of places in between the target place and it's your choice to interact with any of the place or not. Players can choose easy ways towards the story by just choosing right spot or right place on the map, and it's pretty easy to go from one point to another. It's like chess. But one thing which I felt all the time is worth mentioning is the lag, or maybe the frames per second drop, the FPS issue. The injection that every game almost carries. The game tends to be laggy during starting off cutscenes and during the start of battles. I first thought it's some sort of glitch, and even after installing the first patch of 7 GB, I kept facing lag. Minor lag is not really bad to us, but one can easily notice it, which I believe King Art will, deliver another patch to fix it, because if they don't, then I'll leave a bunch of dwarves on them. Then moving on to the next step, puzzles and difficulty. Well, there are some puzzles, but not that much hard and not important for the storyline. Like in the background, you can see I was trying to solve a puzzle and which was not connected to the story in any way. After all, someone can easily skip them and try hard to get some of the trophies. As far as the difficulty concerns, like most of the games, the difficulty means how hard the combat is gonna, hit you. And in the Dwarves, difficulty means a lot more than just a freaking hit. If you increase the difficulty in fighting in a war, which is normal in this game, you will have to face more goblins than the normal difficulty. So they hit you, in any way possible, and more than they will have more immune to your hits. In short, playing the Dwarves is like suicide, exactly, which I kinda committed, but it failed. Good thing is you can change the difficulty at any time. God bless them. Now jumping on to the verdict, the interesting part of the review. So far in one line, the Dwarves is a narration-based game. You will have a lot of chances to fight, so don't worry. Music and voice is great in the game, the graphics are just okay-ish, kind of. Gameplay is easy if you understand how to play. Playing in hard difficulty is a fool's idea. So far so good, the Dwarves made its impression. To be honest, I was expecting more after watching trailers through. The Dwarves is a good RPG after all, it's a good package. If you really want to play this game, then I would suggest for you to buy it in a sale or when you can rent it. So far so good. If you really enjoyed the game review, be sure to like this and subscribe to our channel for more upcoming reviews, live streams, walkthroughs, unboxings, daily stories, and no doubt our most favorite, giveaways. Thank you so much. Be well.